if you're a YouTuber or an influencer who keeps pushing SIG products, I can tell you, man, it's kind of a deal with the devil, man. Is the money really worth it? Is it that much money? I mean, maybe it is. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and we got some sad news coming out of the military yesterday, but also some news that's not surprising to anyone, and that's that, yes, sadly, an Air Force airman lost their life due to a SIG P320 discharging in the holster. Now, if you've been following this whole 320 debacle like a lot of people have, I think a lot of people were kind of just waiting for this exact thing to happen, considering the military has refused to address it, and yes, officially, a soldier has lost their life because of this. Now, this is going to have a lot of second and third order effects, downwind effects for SIG especially, and the military. Not only that, but, you know, a lot of influencers who continue to push SIG's products. Yeah, it's not looking good, all right? So I wanted to wait about a day, try to get the best information I could coming out of this, because a lot of times stories like this in the military are very fuzzy, very hazy, but I think we got the real story, and then we're going to look at the Air Force's response, talk about what the military is going to do, and yeah, let's jump into it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Helps the channel. Follow us on Patreon. Grab some merch. It's all restocked. Let's just jump into it. All right, so we're going to take a look at first, and again, I don't know if this is 100% accurate story yet, but it's the best I can find, what actually happened. Let's take a look at that. All right, so this is the story that's circulating around. Again, I can't 100% confirm this is what happened, but this is kind of the best that we got at this point. Okay, so it says here, security forces desk sergeant took off his Safariland holster with M18 pistol still inside. By unlocking the QLS fork and placing it on the table, the pistol went off while still in the holster, hitting the sergeant in the chest and unaliving him. After the incident, the commanding general of Air Force Global Strike Command ordered a pause on all use of M18 pistols. The investigation is still ongoing. All right, so what they're saying happened is the security force officer walks up to the desk. He's got his Safariland duty holster on his belt right here, takes it off the QLS, places the holster down on the table. As he does that, bang, pointed at him, hits him in the chest, and loses his life. And if it's shown this is actually what happened, especially if this is at an Air Force security officer's desk, there's most likely cameras. If the cameras caught this, whoo, yeah, everybody's hosed for sure. But let's take a look at what the Air Force's response was following the incident. All right, so immediately following this, the Air Force put out a memorandum for all Air Force Global Strike Command personnel, which states, 1, immediate action required, effective immediately. All personnel in the AFGSC will pause use of the M18 MHS for all operational or training activities until further notice. This pause will remain in place until completion of ongoing AFOSI and safety investigations into a recent incident at F.E. Warren Air Force Base. Wing commanders and DFCs will arm personnel with the M4 rifle in place of an M18. Interim procedures until further notice. Issue M4 in place of the M18, ensure continuous mission capability, yada, yada, yada. Ongoing coordinations, conduct comprehensive review, develop appropriate corrective measures, which would be stop using the weapon, establish a timeline for resolution, right? And there you go. So that's the Air Force's official response, which they have basically said, no more SIG P320s until we figure out what the hell is going on. Now, this raises the question, what the hell is the military doing? We talked about this on the video Monday. The FBI, and there's people who said, you can't trust the FBI. Okay, sure, you can't trust the FBI. Whatever, I don't care. It's not the point. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, so that is the federal government's agency that handles investigations, did an investigation into this weapon system and found it to be unsafe in a duty holster. The military then decides Army SIG P320 derived pistols remain unchanged after concerning FBI report. We talked about this on Monday, which makes you wonder. So if again, we're talking about the federal government's Bureau of Investigation finds the duty weapon of the U.S. military to be unsafe, and the U.S. military, federal government, says, we don't care what our own federal government's investigation comes up with, we're still just going to keep on keeping on. So the question is, military, what are you doing? What are you doing, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth? There's no war going on. This is the type of thing we should probably be paying attention to. You know, when the FBI says that the duty weapon of the U.S. military is unsafe, and we just say, no, well, We don't really give a shit about the lives of our soldiers. Whatever. Because we're too busy putting out garbage ass recruitment videos by people like Benny Johnson and Ryan Macbeth. That's what we're doing, at the Department of Defense. Okay. And that also brings up an interesting point. Like, can the family sue Sig Sauer because of this? As far as I know, in most cases, if you're an active duty military personnel, you definitely can't sue the government for anything. Potentially there was some stuff changed with malpractice in 2019, but it's almost impossible to actually sue the government as a military, somebody in the military. And most likely they won't be able to do anything about this either. So what are you going to do, military? Like, how come the Air Force is the only one who's put a hold on this? Like, why is the broader military not put an immediate stopgap on the use of the 320? It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. And it's not like the military would be making some historic decision to end the contract with SIG. I mean, we showed this on Monday. These are all the federal agencies and the police departments that have already banned the 320 from duty. All right. The Chicago Police Department, massive. Denver Police Department, Washington State Criminal Justice Training Commission, Oregon Public Safety Academy, Milwaukee Police Department, Dallas Police Department. Goes on and on and on and on. Pierce County, right? Not only that, ICE, another federal agency, has banned the use of the 320 handgun for their soldiers. And again, while the FBI didn't ban it, they also came out and said that this weapon is not safe. So the question is, what are we doing, military? We should probably have some questions to answer here about why this contract hasn't been pulled, and maybe who got this contract done to begin with. Maybe that should be looked into. And then finally, I mean, I just say it as it is, man. I don't judge anybody in the past. Like, if people are still questioning what was going on with the 320, but like, there's no questioning anymore. Like, there's so much video evidence. There's the FBI report. You got this now, U.S. soldier being killed. If you're a YouTuber or an influencer who keeps pushing SIG's fucking products, I can tell you, man, it's kind of a deal with the devil, man. Is the money really worth it? Is it that much money? I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Like, for your credibility and your integrity to be flushed down the toilet. Again, I don't judge up to this point, but now that U.S. soldiers are losing their lives because of this thing, I would highly suggest you guys cut your ties with SIG. And, there's a lot of people out there that got ties with SIG, but it ain't looking good because now you're culpable to what's going on to keep supporting this shit. So, yeah, guys, it's, again, I've talked about it before. I've said in all the videos I've done on the 320, I have them. I bought them before a lot of this stuff came out. I don't use them. Like I said, I just don't think they're very good guns in general. And why would you want to carry and use a gun that's not that good and also not safe and potentially going to kill you? I don't know. Not for me. So I would highly suggest if you got a 320, I mean, I'd say try to sell it, but nobody's going to buy it. But maybe just put it in the safe and move on for now. You know what I mean? So that's going to do it for this one, guys. It'll be interesting to see if we get more information out. Also, prayers for the family of the soldier who lost their life because of this, because it's absolutely terrible. And hopefully something actually gets done now by the military. But I wouldn't count on it, guys, because the way these contracts work, I can tell you there's some high up on the board at SIG that was probably a former military general who worked this contract out, and he got paid shit tons of money for it. And so it's a good old boy system. But I'll say this, if the entire military drops the SIG contract, SIG is probably going to go bankrupt and they will no longer be a company. That's just going to be the downwind effects of that. So, and maybe that's for the best, right? All right, that's going to do it for this one. Catch you on the next one.